One. All right, everybody, welcome to the PositiveLEO show, where we're always engaging in awesome positive stories. And today we get to have an exclusive interview with Jamie Wu, the founder of hashtag AMBW channel, Asian Men and Black Women, the Love Connection there on YouTube. And he shares amazing connections, love stories between Asian men and Black women, from creative short films to couple tags to interviews, in which you interviewed me yesterday. So thank you, Jamie. To share stories and experiences and a lot of cool content coming out of your channel. Thank you, Jamie, for coming into the PositiveLEO show, man. And I'll just kick it off with the first question. If you don't mind telling us a little bit about yourself, who is Jamie Wu?
So I am 34 years old. I'm a content creator or aspiring content creator. I launched my channel just think about a little over, what's today? The first or second? Yeah. Basically, approximately 3 months ago, because I basically wanted to create an entire channel that was devoted to, Asian men with Black women, for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it was, it's a AMBW in general, at least online and in the real world too, I guess. It is a very popular subject. There are a lot of meetup groups. There are a lot of Facebook groups with a lot of members in them because, like I said, it's a very popular subject. And so I knew right away that it would have, that audience for it. And, for me as a content creator, I mostly enjoy making short films. And so I come from a background of making short films. And so I decided, why not just, try my luck at literally, starting from the ground up and trying to produce, all new original short films that were told different stories, all from the point of view of sort of AMBW related stories and topics and stuff. I don't know, what else can I say? Like, I actually just republished a book on Amazon Kindle. Well, yeah, it's available on Amazon Kindle as well as different retailers. I think it's all online though. But it's an actual dating guide for, other single Asian men. And it's actually based on all my experiences online dating and sort of the before and after of my progress and how I basically ultimately learned how to date the right way that worked for me. And, because, statistically speaking, and I also cover this on my channel, Asian men receive the lowest amount of responses from women online. And yeah, that can even include some Black women, so it just depends. But for me personally, I figured out how to date, the smart way, and it works for me. So I just, that's what I did. I recently just re-uploaded my book online, and, hopefully it takes off from there.
Yeah. And if you could share me the link, I could put it into the description, later on after the interview. But let's jump back real quick, because it got me kind of curious about why Asian men, click low on some of these dating apps. Is it because of the stereotype that folks, in America, or is it certain, through the media, Asian men are portrayed a certain way? That kind of like, what's your thought on that? I'm sure that has to do a lot into your books and how you wrote, dating tips and whatnot. Can you talk a little bit about that, Jamie?
Yeah, sure. So just to give you the abridged version, because I could go on for hours about this, but basically, from my experience, I started out online dating because I was actually trying to I was basically trying to get over someone else. And so I thought it was the right time to try and put myself out there, trying to meet someone else, hopefully, find someone who's actually, like interested in me. And so I had never done that before. And so when I did it, obviously that being my first time, meeting people from the internet, which is as crazy as it sounds. I made a lot of mistakes. I went through a lot of rejection, a lot of, disappointment, heartbreak and stuff. And, I think I can't speak for anyone else, but I can say, I think in general, anyone who would be in that situation would kind of find it hard, would take it hard at first, facing so much disappointment. And so at first I didn't know how to deal with it. And I thought the whole sort of the solution was just keep trying. Well, like they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And it took me many years until I realized, like I just said, sorry, I kind of going on tangent, but basically, like I said, it took me a while before I figured out what worked for me. But during my tumultuous experiences of online dating, I found out that number one, a lot of women care about height. That's not something that I necessarily was aware of or confronted directly prior to those experiences. And it just, to be honest, it's not like I was hiding it or anything like that. I don't remember whether or not I had actually included my height on my online dating profiles or not. Sure. But just in general, yeah. So I countered a lot of resistance to that, or a lot of adversity, and then obviously after that, I did some online research about it, and it seemed like statistically speaking, a lot of Asian men are typically shorter, on the shorter side.
Sure.
And the more I read up about that subject, it just seemed like a lot of women just really, height is a big kind of deal breaker for them. They don't want to talk to a lot of guys who either are the same height as them, or even shorter. I had one of my exes at that time. She told me that the first time that we actually went out, that she just didn't want to talk to me. She wasn't having it, and she was like, "Oh, what?" One of the first thoughts in my head was like, he's really short, and I don't want to talk to him. And it's okay. I mean, I can talk about this now. It was a long time ago, and I have come a long way since then. But I will say that yes, I do think height is a obstacle. I'm not trying to generalize here, but just speaking from experience and research and whatnot, I do think that if you're an Asian man who is shorter, which most of the time is kind of the case, let's be honest here, then you might face more adversity. I also believe that that at least here in the U.S., here in the United States of America, where it's mostly white people or Caucasian, that white men are obviously automatically seen as like kind of like a default setting for like, oh, women gotta have that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what race the woman. If you're a white woman, if you're a black woman, if you're a Latina, if you're an Asian woman, if you're Native American, if you're purple, green, whatever, and you're in the U.S., your mind is gonna think, okay, I don't want to date my race. What do I do? Oh, white, automatically, just white. It's like metal and like a magnetism. It's just like that kind of automatic response. Right. And obviously, Asian men are not white. We're not. We're Asian. Right. And and then what was another one? I want to finish up this answer.
Sure, please.
I think also that it's just, I'm going to say this one thing. It kind of disturbed me when I first heard it, but I heard some girls say that she hadn't even considered dating an Asian man before. And she was a Latina. She was, and I think she actually had a boyfriend at the time. He was white. Excuse me. But, yeah. And so when I had talked to her about it, she said, no, I hadn't even considered that. And it's just, like I said, man, I've had a lot of tough experiences, which I'm not going to go into because that would spoil the point of reading my book. But I do talk about it in depth, in great detail there. And I just want to say this also to all the Asian men that are seeing this. Please don't get it twisted and think that I'm trying to promote or emphasize negative stereotypes about Asian men. I'm not, but I am trying to sort of give a constructive criticism, feedback, or whatever, because I want to see more Asian men succeed. You know what I mean? In the dating market. Another honest thing is that most of the time, sometimes when it's a non-Asian girl, with an Asian guy, and you see that, and it's honestly kind of rare. When you see that, it's usually because she has an Asian fetish, which I guess it could be a good thing if you're Asian and the girl has an Asian fetish. But then again, it's not really a good thing because she's objectifying you. Because she's basically saying, hey, this person, just because he's Korean, thanks a lot, K-pop. Or, or Chinese or Vietnamese or Japanese or anything like that. I want to date this person. But it's just not like, for me personally, I found that the best experiences lie in the ones who don't have that preference or fetish or objectify you. You know what I mean? Attraction is attraction. But I think, like we were saying, when I interviewed you the other day, it's like, you really shouldn't be doing that. Like, women do that all the time, in my opinion.
Okay.
They do a lot with white men. But whether it's a white man or a black man or an Asian guy, it's wrong. And I feel like yes, first of all, there's nothing wrong with wanting to date Asian guy. There's nothing at all.
Sure.
Okay, but I am saying that there is more to just the race. There's more to just than how the media portrays K-pop and all these Asian models and boy bands and stuff. You know what I mean? Because not all of us look like that. Not all of us come from that background.
And let me add something
I'm just saying,
in
general.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I just wanted to
Oh,
add.
no, I'm sorry, no.
Oh, yeah, quick side thought is just that it's interesting that, like say on an app or say online or something, there's certain interactions, one thing. And then when I meet the person, when they sit down with me and we talk and have that human connection, in some sense, it's a different story compared to the apps. Suddenly there's a spark. Suddenly it happens when, you know what I mean? When we start talking and really sinking in there, at least from my experience, is what I found as well. Like one of my friends, Jamie, would say, I'm not going to date no Asian men. Nope, I'm good. I want to date white men and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. And then she ended up marrying an Asian man, having a wonderful family together. It's just interesting. And I think there's the materialistic, superficial app thing where everything's based on looks and height and certain things, right? That fits the Hollywood theme or whatever. And then when you meet the person, that's when the game begins. That's when life hits. That's when the connection starts to start from there, I think. But no, thank you so much for adding your thoughts on that. I definitely want to share your link in your book into the agenda and to the description for folks to take a peek. But I do want to come right back and ask you the second question in play is that you started the AMBW channel a couple months ago. What got you to start the AMBW channel? What inspired you to start the channel? And I know you shared some stories with me on our interview yesterday, but I just hope you could share it with the audience today of how this channel started. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, sure. So there's a very interesting story behind me. I want to put it that I'm not like if I could come like complete with like a log line or tagline that would like be in caption or bubbles, stop bubbles, it'd be like not your average Asian guy. So I am, first of all, I just want to put there, I'm a struggling artist. I know really, I'm a struggling artist. Hanging at this place, this TV station in downtown LA. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I was working at this TV station downtown LA, and I unfortunately got laid off from that job, and a lot of it was due to the situation that's going on right now. And I got laid off, and so that wasn't the only job that I had. Was one of the main jobs. I was out of luck. I had to move out of my apartment. I had to ultimately move into my car, and I've been there ever since. But I learned that I thought of, okay, I'm still working. I'm not completely down and out. I'm not in dire situations, even though my living situation is not great. So I thought, what are some ways while I'm looking for another job that I can create supplemental income so that I don't get screwed over or whatever. I thought, you know what? I've never tried the YouTube thing. I've never tried to turn to YouTube, make videos for money and stuff like that. I know people do that all the time, but I've never done it. And I thought, you know what? A few years ago, I shot and I made my own AMBW short film, and within a year, that movie made over 40,000 views on YouTube, and I didn't do any promoting with it. I just did it for a class, and then I put it online because that's just what you do nowadays. I guess you just want to share your work, and so I did that. And then I thought, like a few months ago, I was like, I did that, and man, 40,000 views. How much like in terms of money is that? I think maybe like a couple $100 almost. Wow. So I thought, you know what would happen if I were to make a whole channel with nothing but AMBW short films? Okay. And so I got my butt to working, and I started making short films, and I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I'm over 1,000 hours watched on my channel so far. I still have a long way to go, but I'm a hustler, and I've never felt this kind of feeling where it's like there's a lot of pressure. I have to hit certain numbers in order to get monetized, in order to start making money. But it's worth it because, of my situation right now. And, just imagine, maybe like a year or two from now where I'm fully monetized and I have like, 20 films done, right? Within the last 2 years, something like that. And they each have over 40,000 views. How much money is that? Right? That's probably well over $1,000, right? So, I did the math and I was like, you know what? I went to school for film and media production. I've never, and I've worked at jobs, gotten jobs with that degree. I've applied for jobs and worked in different, places before, but I've never been an entrepreneur myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, the situation is going on right now in the world that's going on right now. Lots of people are losing their jobs. Lots of people are losing their homes. Unfortunately, I was a victim of that. But I thought, you know what, why not just do this and see if I can make some money? And I think I can. I do think I can.
Okay.
And I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I'm narcissistic or anything like that, but I've never put my face on camera before. I don't usually do interviews like this.
Oh.
And come out with the fact that I'm trying to literally make short films for a living almost is kind of cool. Like I don't honestly know why I didn't think of doing that sooner. Maybe it's because I didn't, know that AMBW would, make an AMBW short film would garner so many views on YouTube, which basically means, money down the line. But it's, that's the truth, and that's what I'm going after, and I knew that I would have an audience for these short films.
Sure.
Excuse me. I knew that people would watch them because I've met so many people that say they like the movies. Sorry. They've watched them, they comment on them. I think on the video that we did yesterday, like a few people have already commented on that one.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not just making, I'm not just making home videos, right, and putting them online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making short films. I'm trying to make money off of that.
Sure.
But and also, yeah.
I was going to add, I'm sure behind, the financial incentives there's also the connection with Black women as well. I'm sure the attraction is there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? To give you the inspiration to create the films. Can you speak a little bit to that too, Jamie?
Yeah. So, I find Black women very attractive. I like, for the most part, I've actually only really gone out with, non-Asian women. Although I have gone out with Asian women too, but, my experiences with Black women have been pretty positive. I think my experiences with Black people in general, whether it's just like from a business point of view or personal or friendship or romantic or anything like that, has been pretty positive. And I feel like that's an important statement to make, especially right now with, Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate. Sure. And everything like that. And, in a very political, tumultuous time right now, where people are quick to point the fingers at each other and blame each other for, acts of violence or anything like that. Look, man, that's easy to do. But at the end of the day, you can't generalize. Right. There are bad eggs in every group, and, I just want to say, yes, do stop Asian hate. It's not right. But I also support Black people. I also support Black Lives Matter. I support any injustice that's done to any person of color or white people, anybody. Sure. It should, you know what I mean? So with these short films, I feel like, the people who are watching them like them because, Black people are sort of uncatered to in the media, as are Asian men. Like, we're both, Asian men and Black women are both sort of marginalized and depicted very negatively in the media. And so, it's nice to sort of help give them a little bit of their dignity back. Sure. Give them like dimension and depth in the writing and in the performances and in the short films. I've been working with, a lot of Asian actors as well as Black actors now. Go figure. But I also feel like, like for them even, it's hard for, people of color to get good roles in Hollywood, whether that be TV or film or anything like that. So I feel like, doing these kind of short films can add to their works, to their resumes, to their reel when they're looking for actual, like paid work and, professional work. So I have different reasons for wanting to do it. And, any sort of positive impact that it can leave on another person's life, whether that be someone who's watching it at home or someone who's an up and coming actor. I'm glad to help out. Yeah.
Straight up. No, thank you for that, Jamie. And as you know, this the theme of the channel is positivity, and I wanted to ask you this as well. And you asked me this yesterday: is what is positivity to you, and how do you cultivate that in your life?
So positivity to me, I would say, is perseverance, because I feel like life is not easy. Honestly, for me, speaking last year or so, it hasn't been easy. But I am a very persistent person, and I'm also a problem solver. So I like to think like kind of 3P solution. Like problem solving, first one, perseverance, the second one, positivity is the third one. And I believe that you had to keep hope alive. You had to keep yourself going at the end of the day, because in the end you kind of are the only person doing it. I don't feel like, as much as they love you, I don't feel like your parents or anyone in your family who raised you is going to be there to hold your hand every step of the way. I feel like you had to learn on your own, and you had to keep going. And when life sort of kicks you down, or it sweeps the rug from right under you, or kicks you down, or whatever, and you're disappointed, or you experience a setback, like I said, like, you are there to pick yourself back up and to keep going. And I felt like, okay, in my situation, I could have just easily given up. I could have called my mom and dad and asked them, can I move back in, because I lost my job and I don't know what's going to happen to me, and I'm scared. Which is honestly, it's just how I felt. But then I thought, you know what, I can do this. You know what I mean? I can do this, and I believe in myself. And look, here I am now on the interview talking to you, almost at 1,000 subs, over 1,000 hours watched. You know, and I feel like, what? Yeah, like positivity is perseverance. It's sort of a mixture of tough love, but it's also that fight, that burning fire within yourself to tell yourself, you know what, I deserve to keep going. I deserve to give myself a chance. And that can be in any situation. It doesn't have to be in, like a living situation. It could be, at school, or it could be at work. You know what I mean? It could be with a friendship or relationship or anything like that. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, positivity does go a long way. You know what I mean? It really does. It fuels you with energy to love yourself, to value yourself. You know what I mean? And to keep going. And I feel like, I'm in my mid-30s now. Okay, I live in my car. I'm struggling still to find work, but I'm also at the same time hustling, working my butt off to create a YouTube channel, that, you know what I mean, and ultimately survive, but also become that sort of voice for Asian men and Black women. That it's just very, it just caters to them. You know what I mean? Gives them positive representation and hope also. And I feel like hope is so highly underrated. I feel like even in the darkest times, I've been in some pretty dark times. I've even been contemplated suicide a few times. But then, I thought, like, you know what, I'm not like the smartest person. I'm not the most athletic or tallest person either. But I have my wits, and I have whatever is up there, whether it's God or Allah or whatever. I have whatever was instilled in me. I'm me. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says of me. It matters what I do. It matters what I choose to do, what I think of myself, and how I carry myself throughout every day. So yeah, that's what positivity is to me.
And I think, what you just said really can resonate with a lot of people who go through a lot of struggles in their life, and they're at that break of like giving up, but just know that they can cultivate that positivity, that perseverance in order to make it to that next step by step, right, Jamie? You take step by step to get to where you are. And, you know what I mean? So thank you for sharing that. I'm sure a lot of our viewers will resonate with that. With that in mind, what is your message to the viewers listening right now to this podcast interview here on the show?
I would say that whoever is watching this, I hope that you're having a good day, and thank you for thank you for clicking this video. I would also say that, if you're going through a tough time right now, because of the situation that's going on in the world, or if you're having personal problems at home or with other people or with a loved one, just know that you're not the only one who's gone through, stuff like that.
Right.
Life likes to, it's like my ex said to me, which is very true. And is that life is like a roller coaster. It's ups and it's also downs. It's not just smooth sailing throughout. It's not. They're both good times and bad times. And so, if you're watching this video now, I just say, yeah,
Right.
try to be positive, try to be a problem solver in life, try to be persistent, and also be patient. I actually want to add another P to the list of P's that it says 4. Patience, I think. Love yourself, but also learn to be patient with yourself and with other people, but mostly with yourself. Because I would say that, everyone watching at home also, like, you have more power than you think you do.
Right.
In times of dire need and dark times when you're really down. You know what I mean? You have more power in your life and over yourself than you think you do, than anyone else will tell you. Even more than what I'm telling you right now. I turned my dating life around because of that saying. I turned a lot of things in my life around. Well, I mean, not currently, but I turned, for the most part, I have turned a lot of things around. And, I don't think I'd be here speaking to you, talking to you, if I hadn't. So I hope everyone watching at home can, follow my example and, just learn to love yourself, learn to love your life, learn to value the people in it. Don't surround yourself with fake friends because there's plenty of those. Don't chase after love when you're desperate. Don't do desperate things when it comes to dating. Date smart. Love yourself first. Date smart. Don't waste your time. Be a problem solver. Be patient. Be persistent because life is a marathon. It's not a race. It truly is not a race. It is a marathon.
And I just want to add on that piece on self-love. I think that's so important that you mentioned that because, we talked about that yesterday too, that if you can love yourself to that point, then you can have so much love when you meet your future partner and stuff like that. So I 100% agree with you. And so the last question that I have for you, Jamie, is how can people reach you? Instagram, Facebook, what's the way to get in touch with you, man?
Yeah, so easiest, I would say that if you want to get to know me or if you're interested in the channel, just subscribe to my channel. I will, I'm sure you'll include the link in the description, but if you also do a YouTube search, hashtag AMBW original content channel. I kid you not, that's the name of it. It's AMBW original content channel. Or you can hashtag AMBW love. I'm still working on the title, but basically that's the title. Please watch it. Please, there is a variety of content. We are still growing. We do short films. We do original short films. We do countless interviews with people such as yourself. We do like exposés on, across the ocean, like Korea. We go to Korea. We talk to people there. We explore places in Korea. We do language lessons. If you ever wanted to learn how to speak Korean or Japanese, we'll be doing more of those stuff in the future too. So look out for that. We provide an original array. And, I also want to say is you don't have to be an Asian man or a Black woman to enjoy the stuff that's on there. My content is for everyone. Okay. We're not being, inclusive. I think that's a correct term, but we want to share it with everybody. Everybody can watch and enjoy it. So if you're a white person or a Black person, Asian, brown, man, woman, anything like that, it doesn't matter. Just check it out because you'll enjoy it because our mission statement is to encourage love,
right,
open-mindedness, despite and sort of try to help you and help ourselves, everyone, help each other navigate through the crazy, unpredictable world of online of dating, So there's a YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy it. And, if you're not already, also subscribe to this guy's channel. Just spread the love, spread the word. So, yeah.
Well, straight, you heard it from the man, Jamie Wu himself. So make sure to subscribe, check out his channel, check out the clips and the videos and his creative content. And as always, thank you, Jamie, so much for coming onto the show. And for the message to all the viewers right now is have a wonderful, beautiful July weekend. Be positive, be loving. Like Jamie said, self-love, love yourself, and spread that love around. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you, my man. All right. So then I'm just gonna, I guess I'll hit stop recording.